The Steet Ponte Auto Group in Herkimer and Yorkville and Turnbull Insurance Service since 1866 present Mohawk Valley Living, exploring the arts, culture, and heritage of our region. A special good morning to Holly and Jack, watching in Utica. We'd like to thank you for all your inquiries regarding new episodes. We have been overwhelmed with the growth of our magazine, but starting May 4th, we will begin presenting all new shows. Until then, please enjoy these rare clips from our very first episode back in 2005. I hope you agree that we've come a long way.
Good morning. I'm Richard Enders, and welcome to Mohawk Valley Living. I'm going to be your tour guide as we take weekly journeys to visit interesting places and to meet fascinating people throughout the Mohawk Valley. Together, we will explore the art, entertainment, the food, and the culture that make up this region. A new show and a celebration of spring. We're in the middle of maple syrup season, so join us later as we take a road trip north to Croghan, New York, to the American Maple Museum to learn about the origins of this great tradition. Then we head south to a sugar house on a fifth-generation family farm in Eaton, New York, to learn how to make your own maple syrup. You may know Croghan, New York for its Croghan bologna, but did you know that it's also home to the American Maple Syrup Museum and that it's the Hall of Fame for maple syrup, both for the United States and Canada? So let's take a trip north to Croghan.
Hi, I'm Karen. Welcome to Road Trip. We're heading north to Croghan, about an hour and a half away. We're packing some snacks, but not any sweets. We're saving our sweet tooth for the maple syrup. We're taking the scenic route, but since it's a long trip, we're going to bring along some games for the kids. We're all set, let's go.
We take Route 69 to Rome and then Route 26 north past beautiful Whetstone Gulf State Park to Route 812. There are many classic diners and antique shops along this route. Our scenic drive into the valley between the northern ridge of the Tug Hill Plateau and the western edge of the Adirondacks takes us to Croghan. Plan on spending some time in this quaint village, originally called French Settlement. Formed in 1848 by French, German, and Swiss immigrants, it still retains its charm.
Well, my name is Lori Walsman. I am the manager curator of the Maple Museum. We are located on Main Street in Croghan, New York, in the heart of the maple syrup industry, which is Lewis County. We are the official Maple Hall of Fame for Canada in the United States. Some people will say, well, what's a Maple Hall of Fame? It's like a baseball Hall of Fame, to give you an idea. The 2000 survey, this is just for New York State, Lewis County was the top producer, over 186,000 gallons. And you gotta remember, the season's only a month long, February to March. It's a very labor-intensive industry. And it's usually handed down from generation to generation, the knowledge, and we are trying to preserve that knowledge.
If you would like to plan your trip to the American Maple Museum, you'll have to wait. Although the sap might be flowing, the museum doesn't open officially until May 21st. The cost is $4 for adults and $1 for children. Call 346-1107 for information. Now that we've learned about the history of maple syrup, let's learn how to make our own. We take Route 12 back to Utica and head south to Eaton and Maple Bush Farm.
My name is Mike Battisti. I'm owner, along with my wife and family, of Maple Bush Farm, which is primarily a dairy farm. But also every year we've made maple syrup ever since I became involved with the farm back in 1977. I learned the process from my uncle and my grandfather. The farm has been the family since 1869. I am the fifth generation, so it's a very proud tradition that we carry on every spring. Once you've located a tree, you want to make sure that it's at least a foot in diameter or so. A smaller tree, to drill a hole in a very small tree, it's too stressful for the tree, so you want to try to find one that's at least 12 inches in diameter. So we're just going to look for a good spot that doesn't have any blemishes on it. We're going to drill up at a slight angle. The spout is something you'll probably want to buy commercially, and because it needs to fit snugly in the hole. There's quite a few maple suppliers in the area. If you look in the yellow pages or contact your local sugar maker, they can fix you right up. So as you put it in, it will seat into the hole snugly, but if you put it in too far, because it's tapered, it can split the tree, which is very stressful on the tree. And you see if you get it in there good, it will drip out without leaking. You see it dripping away. And we normally will put a cover on a pail to keep rain and debris out of the bucket of sap. So we're just going to pop that on, and we're in the sap business. This unit here is called the evaporator. This is what we use to produce our maple syrup. The sap, because it's such a small concentration of sugar, only 2%, we need to get that up to 66% sugar, which means we need to boil it, remove a lot of the excess water. The process is the same whether you have something like this or if you do it right on your kitchen stove. And that's just that you need to boil the sap down until it reaches 66% sugar. And there's two ways you can determine the sugar content. If you have a thermometer that goes up to about 217 degrees, 217, 218, somewhere around there is about where maple syrup boils at 66% sugar. Then it should be filtered with a cheesecloth or something to remove the impurities and the minerals that come out of solution when you boil it and concentrate it. The other way, if you don't have an expensive thermometer that will tell you that temperature, you can also use a drip test, and that's by taking a spoon or a ladle and letting the syrup drip off the spoon. And once it starts to drip off in sheets or like wax, then it's maple syrup. Okay, if you need a cup of syrup, you're going to need about 40 cups of sap. It's usually about a 40-to-1 ratio, sometimes a little more, sometimes a little less, depending on what Mother Nature throws your way. It will vary from season to season, from tree to tree, and even from the beginning and the end of the season, it might fluctuate. So, but on average, it's about 40 to 1.
Special thanks to our sponsor, Steet Ponte Ford Lincoln Mazda in Yorkville, where we meet some of the guys. Tony shows us a sharp, showroom new, top-of-the-line Lincoln. And Joel gives us a tour of the features of a surprisingly affordable and energy-efficient new Mazda. Pick up your copy of the April issue of Mohawk Valley Living magazine at your closest Stewart shop and our advertisers. Find a complete list of pickup locations on our website. And by request, a limited number of extra copies of back issues have been printed and will be made available at the Artisans Corner in Clinton, Brenda's Natural Foods in Rome, and the shops at 25 West in Little Falls.
We pulled out about a quarter past 8. Just around the corner, baby, take a nip. Everybody in Martha gonna take a little bit. Moving on out, boozing and cruising along. Oh, here we go.
The Steet Ponte Auto Group is proud to bring Mohawk Valley Living to you each week, serving the Utica area and the Valley with outstanding customer service. In Yorkville at Steet Ponte Ford Lincoln Mazda, Steet Ponte Volkswagen, and Steet Toyota Scion. And in Herkimer at Steet Ponte Chevrolet. Stop in and see why it's so easy to do business with Steet Ponte. You go the extra mile for your small business and should expect the same from your insurance company. For over 140 years, Turnbull Insurance Service has been committed to local small business. For your commercial coverage, turn to the company ready to go that extra mile. Turn to Turnbull. Spring is here, and so are the soft, lightweight spring sweaters and ponchos at Paca Gardens. And of course, colorful and comfortable alpaca socks. There's also baby alpaca yarn, some made from local alpacas at Paca Gardens, West Main Street in Little Falls.
Your news, talk, and sports authority. Talk Radio, AM 1450, WKAL, Rome, Utica.
Discover affordable original works of art by dozens of talented local artists at the Artisans Corner. Find paintings and prints, glass and pottery, designer knitwear and painted silk, jewelry, candles, soaps, and more. All local and all at the Artisans Corner in Clinton. Melrose Supermarket is your family hometown market, known for their choice hand-cut meats, homemade breads, and fresh pastas and salads. Check out the weekly specials at Melrose Supermarket, East Main Street in Frankfort. Shop NJ Fleehand for professional quality espresso machines, KitchenAid appliances and attachments, barware, glassware, and bakeware. Whether you are outfitting a restaurant or your own gourmet kitchen, NJ Fleehand has the equipment and experience. Open Monday through Saturday at 703 Bleecker Street in Utica. The Fenimore Art Museum is open for the season with 6 new exhibits, including The Adirondack World of Arthur Fitzwilliam Tate. His iconic paintings helped create and perpetuate the vision of the Adirondack wilderness as a sportsman's paradise. See many examples of his original works that were subsequently mass-produced. This special exhibit has been organized by the Adirondack Museum and is on display at the Fenimore Art Museum in Cooperstown. From Northern Outfitters in Whitesboro, we headed up Route 291 to Route 365 through Holland Patton and Barneveld to the western end of Hinckley Reservoir. There we found a great place to launch boats with an easy decline into the reservoir.
We're at the prospect site below the dam on Hinckley Lake on Route 365 north of Utica. Very accessible for kayakers. And it's close to town. It's not a long drive away. Today we brought 3 Dagger Blackwater 10.5-foot long recreational kayaks. And we brought those because they're very easy to paddle, very stable, and a great entry-level kayak.
Julia Margaret, dress me up in red. I wanna be a woman in a picture. Hey Julia, how I love your name. I wanna be a woman in your frame. Catherine Houghton with the starlight smile.
You find that everyone knows everyone when you talk kayaking and canoeing, and we found out that nearby in Rome, New York, there was a world champion canoer. So we took 365 west to Rome and Route 26 north to Delta Reservoir to meet Tom Mazuzin and his great-grandson, Austin.
Well, I started, I guess 1972 or 3. First of all, being out with nature and utilizing the wonderful rivers and lakes that we have locally, within the state actually, throughout the state. And I also use it as a form of fitness. I started racing about a year after I began canoeing, and over a period of time I found out that I excelled more in the longer races, those that were 20 to 25 miles in length. And it dawned on me one day that maybe I could do something unusual with a canoe. So I figured the Guinness Book of Records would be a good place to start. Possibly get the North American open canoe recognized by trying to establish a record for most distance paddled within a 24-hour period on flat water without benefit of a current. And I did it on the old Barge Canal, which has now been renamed the Erie Canal, out at Sylvan Beach from Skinner's Marina to Lock 22 and back. I had a 4.7-mile course. And over a 24-hour period, I paddled 127.45 miles. Guinness says it's good. So I ended up in the book in 1986. It doesn't matter whether it's a stream, a creek, a lake. As long as it's water and it is more than 6 inches deep, you can go. Probably the best thing to do would be to go to a dealer or a friend who has a boat and try a boat out. Talk to somebody who's experienced. Let them decide what boat you might want to start with. And then either borrow the boat or go to a dealer, and the dealer will have one that he'll probably loan to you and go with you and maybe give you some instruction. Once you decide what boat you want, you could buy a used boat because they don't depreciate very much. They're made out of Kevlar, fiberglass, or aluminum, and very, very durable and strong. It certainly has made me appreciate trying to stay fit, and then certainly it made me appreciate Mother Nature much more. Just like right here today, we have the ducks out on the water with us. We have loons down here. We have deer that come down to the shoreline. When we're racing, we're not going that fast or making any noise, so Mother Nature and critters are always along the shoreline to observe. And even though you're highly competitive in racing, you can't miss the animals. You know, one of the most terrific things about this sport are the super people that you run into, just like runners. Everybody is so competitive and friendly, and they'll help you in every way possible to improve yourself as you go along the way.
When planning your family's future, turn to the principles of the past. Turn to Turnbull. Turnbull Insurance Service is an independent agency representing the most dependable companies for all your insurance needs, as well as complete financial planning and wealth management. Call today for a free assessment. Whether you're looking to sell or buy your first home, retirement property, farm, or lake house, call River Hills Properties. Agents look forward to meeting with you to present a personalized plan. River Hills Properties, bringing you home. Call 896-1009. The Fenimore Art Museum is open for the season with 6 new exhibits, including A Moment Past. L.F. Tantillo paints New York history. Tantillo's work brings the past to life through his remarkable historically accurate paintings. His paintings celebrate maritime themes, focusing on little-known subject matter depicting the early history of New York State. His work is widely collected and appears in exhibits all over the world, including Cooperstown at the Fenimore Art Museum, open Tuesday through Sunday, 10 to 4. Now you can take out hot specials for lunch and dinner at Maria's Pasta Shop, and on Sundays, fried dough, fried meatballs, and fresh-baked rolls. Maria's Pasta Shop, Oneida Street, Utica. Visit Brenda's Natural Foods in their brand new, bigger location, right down the street at 236 West Dominic Street in Rome. Brenda's Natural Foods, something good and a lot of it. Spring color is peeking through at the Village Crossing. It's a great time for sales on winter clearance items, making way for new spring fashions arriving daily at the Village Crossing in Clinton.
Hi, welcome to the Little Falls Antique Center in the shops at 25 West. We have 2 full floors with 50 vendors of interesting and unique products ranging from specialized to very eclectic, primitive to the not so primitive. Remember, shop local, we're worth the trip.
Expecting company? Just call Deansboro Superette. They prepare delicious Middle Eastern platters for any number of guests. Call 841-4377. Watch Mohawk Valley Living every Sunday and pick up our free monthly magazine. Inside are stories by local writers, area guides, things to do, and more. Find out today why people are calling it their favorite magazine. Mohawk Valley Living. See what's in it for you.
I'm gonna dirty my fingers, paint my toes, stay up all night and watch the...
Special thanks to Turnbull Insurance Service and Mark and Jim Turnbull. Their continued support makes the show possible. We continue our journey by traveling Route 5 along the Mohawk River to Little Falls. Here we catch Route 167 north to Dolgeville and enjoy some breathtaking views along the way. We've visited Dolgeville a few times in the past, and it has a fascinating history, much of it owed to the town's namesake, Alfred Dulge. The town's museum is located in an old firehouse built by Dulge.
The Dolgeville Museum was originally a firehouse built in the 1880s, so that it's now, 130 years old, this building. And fires would be reported by pulling down one of these, I remember them on the corners in Cornhill. You'd open this firebox, break the glass, pull down the handle, and it would come through here to a ticker tape that would list on the ticker tape where the fire was located. In this case, it's firebox number 4, and that would be the Union Free School. There is a display here of early electric lights, and that's because there was a friendship way back when between Alfred Dulge and Thomas Edison. And if you come here, you'll find one of the very earliest electric bulbs.
Because of Dulge's relationship with Edison, Dulgeville was the first upstate village lighted by electricity. You can watch our tour of Edison's electric dynamo from our 2009 episode, posted on our website.
Just wait on these shoulders, but ain't gonna let it bring me down. Just wait on my spirit and there's weight on my mind. But the devil's gonna have to wait for this soul of mine a hell of a long time.
Every trip to Dulgeville should include a pop-in to the Linden Lion greenhouses. Linden Lion is world famous for their award-winning African violets. Their highly prized plants are shipped from Dulgeville all over the world.
At any given time, there are 40,000 plants here and 1,000 varieties. For example, this is the Betty Jean that is named after the owner's mother, and this is the Blue Dragon. And I suppose I should add the fact that not too long ago, this very place was featured on another television show. Should we mention who? Martha Stewart.
Linden Lion Greenhouses is open Monday through Saturday, located at 14 Muchler Street off of Van Buren Street in Dulgeville.
Follow it down till it reaches the sea. And I'll lay it down soft like clouds on the ocean. Under the four winds, blow your love back to me.
The Steet Ponte Auto Group is proud to bring Mohawk Valley Living to you each week, serving the Utica area and the Valley with outstanding customer service. In Yorkville at Steet Ponte Ford Lincoln Mazda, Steet Ponte Volkswagen, and Steet Toyota Scion. And in Herkimer at Steet Ponte Chevrolet. Stop in and see why it's so easy to do business with Steet Ponte. Call Yannick Excavating for all your residential and commercial projects, from new construction and land clearing to septic systems, driveways, basements, ponds, and topsoil. Visit yannickexcavating.com.
Hi, Dr. Tom. Bringing your cat to the Paris Hill Cat Hospital on Sundays is a part of Mohawk Valley Living. Come inside and see why.
Paris Hill Cat Hospital, this is Lindsay. How can I help you? Hello, Mrs. Cole. Your cat is losing weight and you need an appointment? And you're only available on weekends. Sure, I have an available appointment with Dr. Karen Sunday at 2 p.m. Does that fit into your schedule? Okay.
We're open 7 days a week because we know that your cat can become ill anytime. The Paris Hill Cat Hospital, quality care for your cats and kittens.
Meelan's Meat Market has your Easter specialties like store-made hams and kielbasa, leg of lamb and roasts, featuring low-salt, low-fat smoked ham and kielbasa. Try their famous crown roast of pork or prime rib. Meelan's Meat Market, your one-stop shop at the Four Corners in Clark Mills. That special art, photograph, or memorabilia deserves a special frame. Oscars creates one-of-a-kind gold and silver leaf mirrors and frames. Oscars Picture Framing, 12 Kellogg Road, New Hartford. Tom's Natural Foods is your connection to local farms for natural and organic fruits and vegetables, meats, eggs, cheeses, and other milk products at Tom's Natural Foods in Clinton, naturally. Shop Shelter for handmade Adirondack furniture designed by craftsman Jim Kiefer. He works with you to create custom pieces to your specifications, from dining room and coffee tables to bookcases, beds, and bunks. Call or visit Shelter on Main Street in Old Forge. Watch Mohawk Valley Living every Sunday on Fox 33 and UTR. And pick up the free Mohawk Valley Living magazine the first of each month. Available at many locations like these throughout the Mohawk Valley and at your closest Stewart shops. A new restaurant in a historic building on Main Street is Brick's Pizzeria. It was opened just over a year ago by Ted and Daryl, two Dulgeville school buddies who saw an opportunity in the old candy store they visited as kids.
Well, we both grew up in Dulgeville. We went to Dulgeville school. We were classmates all through school. Teddy moved away after high school. After 15 years being away, he came back to town. And that's how we got together and started the pizzeria. As kids, we came here a lot. It was a ice cream store and a Dulgeville newsstand. You can come in and get candy, penny candy, and we always liked coming here. And then when it became available, it's a great location, and we thought this is where we want to be. Well, a lot of the teachers do come in and eat, our old past teachers, and I think some of them are surprised that Teddy and I did get into this. I don't know if they all thought we would be able to do something like this one day, but here we are.
I love coming in here because from top to bottom, you have tin ceilings, hardwood floors, these old-fashioned stools, these that were used by soda jerks, that's what they were called when I was growing up, and a marble-top counter. It's amazing. And speaking of amazing, check out the Monster Pizza. It is monstrous, and believe it or not, it's only $16.
We travel over Dolgeville's lifeblood, the East Canada Creek, and along Highway 29 East, deep into the countryside. We travel up North Road near the boundary of the Adirondack Park. April 7th is International Beaver Day, so we're visiting the Beavers Wetlands and Wildlife Nature Preserve. Owen and Sue Brown helped found the nonprofit organization to continue the work of their friend and associate, the late Dorothy Richards, known as the Beaver Woman. Their 300-acre wildlife sanctuary helps people observe, study, and understand the important role beavers play in the balance of our environment.
Well, we met Dorothy Richards, the Beaver Woman, and we would go to visit her every week, and we just became fascinated with beavers. You know, they're amazing animals. Beavers show examples of reasoning. Like at Dorothy's, if a beaver fell off a chair, then it would put a cushion on the floor beneath the chair. And they have a sense of humor. Dorothy's beavers would grab a rug, she had these Persian carpets, and pull it towards their Y, you know, where they lived, with water. And if somebody would catch up with them, they would rise up on their hind legs and shake, which is like a beaver laughing. So we just found them really interesting, and then we began to realize they were so important in the environment. Probably the most important animal because they create habitat for so many other wildlife species and essential services for people too, like water cleansing. Well, we do it because we love it. We were both college teachers for quite a few years, and we find this is even more rewarding than that. And we love seeing the wildlife and the animals and helping people to coexist, especially now when we're having some climate change. And beavers have been called climate heroes because their dams keep water on the land, which is so important in times of drought, which are becoming more severe. And they also improve the water quality because the dams filter out silt, which is the leading impediment to aquatic life.
Celebrate International Beaver Day this week by learning more about this important animal. Call 518-568-2077. Learn more or become a member of Beavers Wetlands and Wildlife online at beaversww.org.
Got a head like a beam. He steers a T-bird like you never seen. Picks up the young